And here we are again, even as survivors of Parkland and the dozens of school shootings since pushed and pushed for change, the infuriating reality is this keeps happening. This anniversary at Parkland comes a day after a 43-year-old man went to 2 buildings at Michigan State University with a gun, killing 3 people, hurting 5 more. Police say he didn't seem to have any connection to the school or the victims that they know of. He did have a note, they tell us, threatening 2 more schools in New Jersey. He also had previous gun violation on his record. So what, if anything, can be done about all of this? It's hard to not be discouraged when the politics of gun regulation has just become more polarized and stuck than ever. But legislation isn't the only route to go. There's a new effort at the University of Minnesota Law School to use litigation in hopes of preventing gun violence, and Ken's here to explain how it would work.
Yeah, Jana, the Gun Violence Prevention Law Clinic just launched a few weeks ago with the goal of reducing trauma, gun injuries, gun homicides, and gun suicides. But students are challenged to work within our current laws to get there.
On a day when the aftermath of yet another mass shooting collides with the anniversary of others, it's easy to lose hope. But a visiting professor at the University of Minnesota Law School has never been more optimistic that change is possible.
This is really my dream. Law schools across the country weren't doing this. We're the first ones in the country to use law school experiential education to address gun violence.
Megan Walsh says the students in her new Gun Violence Prevention Law Clinic are working far beyond the walls of a classroom.
They're actively going out and litigating cases, working directly with clients, developing cases themselves, and getting that real-life experience.
That includes working directly with Attorney General Keith Ellison's office on several firearms cases, including the lawsuit against Fleet Farm, which alleges negligence in selling firearms to straw purchasers. Others are helping defend against challenges to state gun regulations.
Cases are coming out every day that are drastically changing the way that gun regulation is considered by courts. And so it's important for law schools to step up to that.
It's work Walsh has been doing personally for years as part of the Everytown USA legal team, which just last week helped families of victims of the Santa Fe High School shooting in Texas negotiate a settlement with online retailer Lucky Gunner, which the gunman purchased ammo from despite being underage.
Now they are requiring age verification. That, I think, is a really great example of how you can use litigation to change the industry and make sure that things that companies really should be doing anyway, they're now incentivized to do.
Is there anything you want gun owners to know about what this is and is not?
I think a lot of people have a gut reaction whenever you're talking about firearms, because at core, we're all talking about safety. We're talking about the things that matter most to us, keeping our families safe, keeping our kids safe. Some people look at that and say, we should have firearms out of the equation, let's get rid of the firearms. And some people look at that and say, no, I want a firearm because that is safety to me. The majority of Americans are somewhere in the middle, right? They believe that people have an individual right to carry a firearm if you are licensed, if you pass a background check, and if you're a lawful citizen. But they don't think that that right is unfettered. And that's also what the Supreme Court has said. It doesn't have anything to do with taking guns away from people who want to hunt or who want to protect themselves. It's about reducing the trauma, the deaths, and the injuries that really is a huge cost to society as a whole.
The Gun Violence Prevention Law Clinic just launched in January, but Megan says it will be a 3-year pilot, and she hopes it will continue in the years that follow. Jana?
She was truly fascinating. Not that all Americans are over here or over here. Most of us are somewhere in between.
And she says as a lawyer, it's her job to work within the laws that we have.
Fascinating. Thanks so much, Ken. Appreciate it.